Roses are red, violets are blue. Before there were chocolates, there were rituals too. Hearts can be fragile, obsessions hold tight. Some Valentine's kisses are colder than night. Happy Valentine's Day, strangers! Welcome to Strange with Danny, a little spooky, mysterious, and strange. Disclaimer: this episode discusses the darker history behind Valentine's Day, including ancient rituals, execution, and mentions of violence, obsession, and control. Some of it may be unsettling for some listeners. Strange with Danny is for mature audiences who enjoy the spooky, mysterious, and strange. Listener discretion is advised. Today we're celebrating a holiday of romance, kisses, proposals, and overpriced candy. But what if I told you February 14th may have started with animal sacrifice, ritual fertility whippings, and a public execution? Lupercalia, the ritual before the roses. Long before Valentine's Day existed, ancient Rome celebrated something called Lupercalia. It was a festival that took place in mid-February and was meant to purify the city, ward off evil spirits, and promote fertility. But it gets dark. Roman priests would sacrifice goats and a dog, dip strips of goat hide into the blood, and run through the streets, striking women with them. The women would willingly line up for this. Why? Because being touched by the blood-soaked hide was believed to increase fertility and ensure a healthy pregnancy. So, while you're handing out roses today, ancient Rome was handing out goat whips soaked in blood. Some historians think Christian Church later tried to clean up Lupercalia by replacing it with a saint's feast day. Saint Valentine was a man, although there may have been many more than just one. The most common legend says Valentine was a priest in Rome during the reign of Emperor Claudius II. Claudius believed single men made better soldiers, so he banned marriage for young men. Valentine disagreed with this, so what did he do? He married couples in secret, in hiding, whispered vows, hidden ceremonies, forbidden love. When the emperor found out, Valentine was arrested, imprisoned, and eventually sentenced to death. Some legends say that he befriended the jailer's daughter and healed her blindness, and that before his execution, he allegedly sent her a note signed, "From your Valentine." Then he was beheaded on February 14th. Over time, the church honored him as a martyr. The fertility festival faded into history, but the date stayed. By the Middle Ages, people began associating February 14th with romance, partly because of the belief that birds began mating around that time of year. Poets leaned into it. Love notes evolved. By the 1700s, handwritten valentines were common. By the 1800s, mass-produced cards appeared. And now, it's a multi-billion-dollar industry. But beneath the candy hearts and glittery cards, this holiday may have roots in ritual sacrifice, political defiance, and execution. By the 1800s, especially during the Victorian era, Valentine's Day exploded in popularity. But not all Valentines were sweet. Some were designed to hurt. They were called vinegar Valentines. They were brutal. This is where shit got petty. Instead of romance, these cards mocked appearances, insulted weight, hygiene, and intelligence, targeted lazy husbands, shamed unmarried women, humiliated workers, teachers, and mothers, and accused people of greed, vanity, or gossip. And they were anonymous. It was Victorian cyberbullying. The spirit of Vinegar Valentines is alive and thriving today, every day on social media posts and comment sections. No signature, no explanation, just humiliation. Some had grotesque illustrations, women drawn as monsters, men depicted as drunken pigs, people portrayed as rats, snakes, or witches. And they were often mailed publicly, meaning postal workers and family could see them. So, while one Valentine may have died for secret marriages centuries later, people used his holiday to anonymously destroy each other. Love potions and dark folklore. Before dating apps, chocolate boxes, and Hallmark, people tried to manufacture love, and sometimes they used magic to do it. For centuries, Valentine's season wasn't just romantic, it was believed to be spiritually charged. In parts of Europe, February 14th was thought to be a powerful night for love divination, future spouse visions, attraction spells, and binding rituals. Girls would place bay leaves under their pillows to dream of their future husband. Some would sit alone in a dark room. Some would stare into mirrors by candlelight at midnight while brushing their hair slowly and repeat, "Future love, future true, come in shadow, come in view. By this flame and by this light, show your face to me tonight," and wait for a face to appear over their shoulder in the mirror, or initials. Walk backwards into bed, or repeat rhyming chants to summon a vision, like write the name of the boy they liked on a bay leaf. Whisper, "If he's the one, let the fire burn bright. If not, let ash claim it tonight." Toss it into the candle flame. If it burned bright, it was a good omen, and if it blackened quickly, not so much. And if you think that sounds harmless, remember, magic rarely comes without a cost. Historically, so-called love potions weren't always symbolic. Some included herbs like rosemary and thyme, but also toxic plants like belladonna, animal parts, hair, drops of blood, and even other bodily fluids. Because in those beliefs, ingesting part of someone created emotional attachment. There were documented cases of people secretly slipping substances into drinks to bind someone emotionally. How romantic. In certain traditions, people would create puppets, like a little doll, knotted string charms, handwritten notes, folded with hair or nail clippings. Yummy. The intent wasn't always to attract love. Sometimes it was to control it. Some spells weren't about finding love, they were about keeping it from leaving. Real love isn't obsession or control or fear. Real love doesn't need rituals or threats. Or does it? You'll know real love when you find it. So tonight, before you call it fate or chemistry or destiny, ask yourself, is it love in your heart or a spell in your shadow? Is what you feel devotion, or did someone whisper your name into a candle in the dark? If you leave this episode wondering whether your love story was written in the stars or on a leaf and tossed into a flame, then I've done my job. Thanks for spending this spellbound time with me on Strange with Danny. If you've enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, follow, and share with fellow strangers on all the platforms. Until next time, be kind, love consciously, and stay strange.